Hi there, welcome to Sunnyside Journals. I'm Catherine. Um, Welcome to 30 minutes of my day. I've already been in my room for a little while this morning. I'm still trying to clean the clutter that is clouding my creativity. And so I have been trying to sort through. I have little baskets here and there like this of things that I put aside. I had every intention, put it into a journal, and for whatever reasons, no, it wasn't right, and back into the basket. And I have a bigger one on this side, and I have one over there, and it's out of hand. And I feel like my Christmas things, when I changed rooms, I mostly just put all my Christmas stash onto shelves in my closet that's over there and walked away. And now I feel like even my Christmas stash is overwhelming me. And I know that it's a whole bunch of things adding up. I know that it's, just still dealing with coronavirus, worrying about family, worrying about my mother, the upheaval in the world right now. Oh my goodness, I will be so glad when everything calms down again. Anyhow, so I just thought I did a bit of cleaning. I thought, okay, I got to do some work, and then I need to do something creative. So I thought, you know what? Let's do something mindless. I'm going to make some cabinet cards, and these are photos out of a book on photography that I found. Hold on, let me grab it. I found this great big book on the history of photography. Yeah, the history of photography. And it's just full of wonderful old pictures that are just crying out to be made into calling cards. So, this, I could make it into one great big one, but I'm going to make it into three. It's a sweet little girl, and she's sitting beside a mirror so that you can see her profile and her full face all at once. And you seldom see them smile in older pictures. And I love her little smile there. And you know what? While we're at it, I might give you what I've learned about the no smiling in, hold on, I'm just getting out my, here, let me pause it. You don't need to listen to me clacking this around. Hold on. Okay, so, I just want to take some of this, this board. I found a whole bundle of them at a thrift store once. And this side's nice, it's dull. This side's still a little glossy, and I always worry about glossy not necessarily grabbing the glue as nicely as I would like. So whenever I can, I will use my sandpaper block and just rough it up a little. Anyhow, so from what I've learned about the no smiling in those old-time pictures, there was several reasons for it, and of course all those people are dead, so we'll never know for sure. But there was several reasons why it all added up to make sense to just not smile. The first reason was they had to sit very still for longer than what we do now. Our pictures are taken in a split second, and they had to sit there and sit there and sit there and sit there and hold their position for the photograph to be taken. Another reason was quite often back then, because a photograph was very, very expensive, and often you lived far away from perhaps a photographer's studio, it was a really big deal in your life to get up the money together to get a beautiful photograph. And so it was a very solemn occasion. And it was not unlike, a rich person commissioning an artist to paint a portrait. You don't necessarily see portraits with people grinning from ear to ear. In a solemn portrait, there is usually a look of reverence and elegance. And this, getting your picture taken, perhaps only once in your lifetime, was a very solemn occasion. So it wasn't necessarily to them a time to be grinning from ear to ear. It was a time to look serious for how serious it was to get your picture done. And the third reason why I was told, that I'm not an expert, so I'm just conveying what I had learned about it from an antiques, more specialized person. And this one makes sense too. And this is the one that makes me smile. Quite often their teeth were either gone or just rotten. So to smile, it would have been a whole bunch of closed mouth smiles because they either didn't have their teeth left or else the teeth that were in their head were absolutely abysmal. So, so they erred on the side of elegance and reverence and nobility over a toothless grinning smile. So there you go. The many different reasons why it all added up for our ancestors, our forefathers and mothers, to not give a big cheesy smile when they went in to get a picture taken. Which is why when you see something like that, that's just that's delightful. So I'm going to use my my aerosol spray to hold that down. So I'm going to pause for a second. Hold on. Okay, that's on there. Now is time for ruler and blade. So as I said, I'm going to make 3 cabinet cards. Pardon me, not calling cards. I'm going to put my light on. I hope it doesn't make too much of a glare. I've got a bit of a shadow. My window is coming from this side, so I find I need to put my light on this side, just so I have balance in the shadows. Okay, let's do this. I feel like this is just a little crafty thing I can do to keep my juices going, so I don't just curl up on my couch and stagnate. And then I have to go out today. I do need to get some glue sticks. So, and I'm quite sure my car will steer me over towards my thrift stores, which are open today. Our thrift stores in town are closed on Mondays. That way they get 2 days off. They're also closed on Sundays. Except for the big one. There's a big one two towns over, Value Village. I think it's very similar to what the American Store Savers is. It's a really big thrift store. It's open on Sundays, but it's not in my town. I have to get in my car and drive. It's about a half an hour away for me. But our little town ones, they take a little break. They rest on Sunday and they rest on Monday, and I can't fault them that. There we go. All right, we're getting there. Okay. I just love when they're nice and thick. They just feel cool. There we go. So our numbers are still creeping up in our area. We're doing what we can. I think a lot of people were taking advantage of a little thing. They initially had said, oh, you can choose a bubble family that you can socialize with. And I think what was happening was that people's bubbles were getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And, you know, because our numbers were good, people were sort of going, oh, well, just this once, we'll be okay. And of course, no, we don't have our vaccine yet. Hopefully soon, but we don't have it yet. All right, so I want to get this in the center for the most part. There we go. Oh, I don't want to use you. I want metal. Yeah, so I'm going to head to Staples. Get glue. Got to figure out something for dinner. Last night's dinner was wonderful. I actually took the time after our little Thanksgiving dinner that we had, just the two of us, of putting together some sort of like a frozen dinner and into the freezer. And it had a little bit of everything. It had meat and vegetables and potatoes and stuffing, and then a little container of gravy. And oh my gosh, was that ever good last night? It's like we had a whole homemade Thanksgiving dinner. Gosh, it was good. I think it spoiled my husband because he said, that was great. Why can't we do that every day? Well, because we'd have to cook a great big Thanksgiving dinner every day or once a week and then reheat it for the rest of the week. But it was nice that he enjoyed it. Well, I did too. There we go. One more. I have a new blade, a new whole box cutter, but I don't want to get into it yet. This one is still okay. I just freshened that up just I guess about a week ago. Ah, look at that. I think I ruined that one. That's a shame. Yep. Oh, come on. We'll have to see what I can do. Look at that. Oh, that's a shame. The one on the left is all right, but this one is not. You know me, I don't want to lose that. I think we can just make that a little bit smaller and it'll still be okay. We'll try. All right, so there's two. Now, let's see what we can do here with this. Now I'm going to try and get as close as I can to that to recut it. I'm not too worried if it's not a clean cut because I will be sanding it and inking the edge. So let's see if we can do it. Oh, I had a wonderful dream last night. I dreamt we were on a cruise. Gosh, that's almost as good as getting to do it. It reminds me of that movie Total Recall, where you can have memories implanted into your head. It was very nice to be able to just go on a cruise while I slept. So I'm bringing this side in a bit too, to balance it out, because the other side, of course, is thinner. There we go. Okay. You know what? That's all right. So it's got a little bit smaller frame on either side, but we didn't lose it. So that's good. I'm just making sure that all the sides are down. Now, something I do is calling cards seldom have a pointy corner. So I usually get things started by taking those corners off. And then, of course, you get out your old trusty sand block and round them. So just take the tips off. Unless you've got a really super duper corner chomper that would go through this, I do not. Now I have used, as you've seen in the past, a corner chomper to leave an imprint so I know where to cut. But even this chipboard, it is way too thick even for that. Scissors would not get comfortably through this. Scissors would just make a mess. So let's just work on one. Where's the one where she's grinning? Let's work on the happy one. So what I do is you just start taking off the sharpness of where you cut across the corner, and you will get a nice rounded corner. So let me show you. Here's where I've cut the corner so it looks quite boxy, and here's where it now is a nice rounded corner. So, and then do your waterfall thing. I don't know if that's the term, but I just call it a water. It's like water falling over the edge, so that you sand that sharp edge right off. And you'll do this on both sides because both sides are sharp. But I always like to start with the pretty side because, of course, I get excited about how cute it's looking. We have Remembrance Day up here in Canada tomorrow. And I have great respect for Remembrance Day. And I usually will take time to open up all my things that I have of our family members who served, and the ones who gave up everything. We have family buried over in France and buried back here at home. Some came home and died over here from the effects of fighting in wars. So, yeah, I have great respect for them. And gratitude that we can live in a free country, especially in this day and age. I have renewed gratitude for the war fought against authoritarianism, so that we can all have a free vote. Everyone. There we go. Alrighty. Yeah, so I'll get out my photos. I even have all the men served in our family. My grandfather, my dad's father, was so tiny and he had health problems. He was one of the rare ones who was just flat out rejected, poor granddad. And back then, because we did not have a draft, it was a great shame to be a man who appears to be of able age, to not have a uniform on. And my granddad actually had, I have the letter. My granddad had a letter that he was to carry with him at all times to show, in case people said, "Why aren't you serving? Where's your uniform?" And he had to show that he did try to enlist, and that the government said thank you, but no thank you. So now we do our little inking. I will be re-inking again because I'm going to put some tea-dyed paper on here so that it can be journaled on the back. But you know me, I do like to ink as I work, so that in case I glue something down and then the inking needs to be in an uncomfortable spot, it's already been inked. She looks cute. How am I for time? 21 minutes. We're doing all right. So now I need a little bit of either tea-dyed paper or maybe some... I have these offcuts of old children's... Now, is it wide enough? It is. I love when there's lines on paper. All right, let's do it. Now, this is my last glue stick. So is that the same? That is. All right. I am just going to glue it on. Now, you know me and my disdain for glue stick. Oh, I haven't used this in a couple of days. I'm not sure I glued anything yesterday. I spent most of the day either fussy cutting or sorting. And I don't think this bottle even got opened. Come on. Thank you. I'm trying to do just a very, very thin of the art glitter glue. It's, I dare believe for paper, it is the strongest. All right. Now I want you there. And I'll be sanding again. All right. Let's get you in there. Probably should have glued this on before I did all the sanding, but oh well, I'll do it with the next two. Okay. So the back side has some composition paper. This doesn't need quite so much, but, and you don't have to cut those corners. Do you see how I just I let the sandpaper block do the work to take that corner off. There you go. So, now another thing, if you didn't have chipboard that thick, just get some scrapbook paper, file folder, and glue 3 or 4 of them together. And you'll get a nice thick. I can still see a little. There we go. That looks nice. Now I'm wondering if I want to do a little bit of gilding wax. Now I just need some gilding wax, as I've warned many times, can make a great big mess that is permanent. There's no getting gilding wax off if you plop a little chunk of it on something. It's there. So I have this brush that I just use over and over again. It's so thick and worn out, but it really is perfect for the gilding wax because it's nice and stiff. And I find that what I do is I just sort of almost what you do when you're distress inking. I just go over the edge with the gilding wax. I know I always say it, but gosh, I love the smell of this stuff. I swear I'd buy perfume, gilding wax perfume. I wonder what it is that they use to give it that pretty smell. See all this? That is like a danger zone. I don't know if you can see it from that high up. There's gilding wax fallout everywhere. Now I want those edges gold. And that's why I like this stuffy old paintbrush that I've had for years and years. And I'm not ready to get rid of it. I just want some of that wax up. I suppose a stenciling brush that you can plotch and stomp with would give a similar effect. I just sort of want a little dusty shimmery gold edge. But some of it, if there's chunks there, you got to get them off. There. Love it. Oh, jeepers. Look where I plopped it. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I got some gold there. That's all right. Let's close this up, and I'm going to lift this carefully because I'm going to need this again later when I do these two. But I'm not going to have time today to do those two on camera. All right. Now, here's something else I do because some of that gilding wax, until it's well applied to the surface, it's still sort of active. So I will almost like buff it, but I buff it in the other direction. If I buff it towards the picture and some of it is still chunky, it could land on the photo. But once it's buffed, that's on there. There's no getting it off. Yep, there goes my. And then I'll just buff this too. It just gets it on and in. Yes, I hear you. Hold on. Yes, I hear you. There we go. Well, at least we got something done today. Thank you for helping me feel a bit creative. So can you see the shimmery, the little gold edging on it? Now I think I'll still do some more. I may do like a little stencil down here of like maybe a little scrolly thing. Usually cabinet cards actually had the name of the photographer in beautiful, elegant, you know. But this is, of course, a faux cabinet card, so we have a little bit of liberty to do as we wish here. That turned out nice. I'm happy with that. So these ones, we will finish those. I'll finish those. Oh, you're upside down. I'll finish those later. So there we go. Get that light off there. And there we go. All right. Take care, everyone. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're safe and healthy. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care. Here. Goodbye. See you soon.